back from a trip to New York City where I flew through LGA right after they started reducing the number of flights going out per day. I had a crazy time with my personal flight and I really didn't know what to expect ahead of time, so I thought that I could give you guys an idea of what my experience was so it could help you if you're doing air travel in the near future. First and foremost, I saw videos of the wait at JFK being an hour plus, so I got to the airport very early. I was keeping an eye on the airport's estimated wait time during security, and it stayed anywhere from like 1 minute to a little bit over 20 minutes, but I just wanted to get there early just in case. I got to the airport for the first time on November 9th around 5 p.m. and it took me about 5 minutes to go through security. It was like a breeze. It was so quick. My flight ended up getting pushed back, moved forward, canceled, and so I left and then went back the next morning around 6:30 a.m. and that time it did take me a little bit longer, but it was still around 15 minutes. My advice to you is just keep your eye on your airport's security wait time so you can make sure that you're prepared and you get to the airport with plenty of time. I think that the airport wait time on the LGA website was very accurate both times. Something else that I heard a lot of is once you are on your plane, you could be sitting there on the tarmac basically waiting to take off for hours. My sister's plane had 20 planes in front of them. I had another friend that left New York City through LaGuardia on Saturday, the 8th. They in particular sat there for 3 hours before takeoff. It was just really, really congested, really backed up. I was also told by American Airlines specifically that they're canceling flights to smaller airports. My airport is a smaller airport. So as I just said, my flight was delayed. So essentially my flight was supposed to leave at 7 o'clock. And it got pushed back to like 9 o'clock, and then they started moving it forward and they did end up canceling my flight. I flew with American Airlines. They did automatically rebook me on a flight the next day, the same flight. But I had heard that that same flight had been canceled for 3 days in a row at that point. So I was not interested in being on that flight. If you're flying American Airlines and you kind of run into a similar experience, my recommendation would just be to get on the app and just keep checking, because people are constantly changing their flights to make it work for their schedule a little bit better. So instead of flying out again at 7 o'clock that night, I was able to rebook a flight at 8:30 that morning, the next morning. Another note on that is American Airlines is not covering your hotel stay. Normally they would offer some kind of hotel voucher and they would reimburse your travel, reimburse your food, things like that. They're not doing it because they're claiming it's not their fault. I sat down and tried to find a hotel close to the airport. Almost everything sold out, but they were also price gouging. So I ended up paying $400 for my hotel stay. You're paying your own way if your flight gets delayed or canceled. So my recommendation would just be to get to the airport as early as possible. Try to get on an early flight out. Like, I definitely would not do the last flight out situation like I aimed for. I also checked a bag because I did a lot of shopping in New York. I'm normally not that way. I'm like a carry-on only girly, but I checked a bag on the way home and I did have to wait for almost an hour to get my bag back after my flight was canceled. So just prepare for that as well. I just want to give a major shout out to the TSA agents at LGA. Like, y'all were so nice, so kind. You gave me such a good experience. I was there again like at 6:30 a.m. I was so tired. I was so stressed out. And there was a man in TSA that just like brightened my whole day. He was so sweet. Really, if they're not getting paid for this and they're still having those kinds of attitudes, like, I definitely think that they should be recognized and acknowledged for continuing to treat customers with respect and kindness. And I think we could all take a lesson there. Anyway, that's kind of my experience. If y'all have any particular questions or specific questions about airport security, et cetera, just let me know. Just wanted to kind of share this with you guys, so hopefully it helps you if you're in a similar situation or maybe you don't really know what to expect. And hopefully this ends soon. All right, bye guys. Mwah.